Welcome to my final term assignment presentation. Within this presentation, we will be exploring the following topics: the description of my chosen venue, which outlines the venue itself, the current energy systems, and my rationale for converting to renewable energy. Then we will be looking at the conversion to renewable energy section, which focuses on key features of the renewable energy source, how the energy is harvested, and how the opportunities and challenges that will come with conversion. Finally, we will look at the systems of enhancement, which outline the innovations of the renewable energy source to the venue and the impact that it will have on the electricity grid. The venue description. Okay, so starting off with the venue description, the venue that I have chosen for this assignment is a remote cottage in Northern Ontario. To gain access to this cottage, you have to portage into the lake and then drive in an hour by boat. This cottage is located in an off-grid area that is not connected to the main power grid. The cottage is used throughout the year in all seasons. Individuals stay at the cottage for both short trips of 3 to 4 days or trips ranging up to 2 months. The current energy system that is in place is gas-powered generators. They are used for generating electricity and heat for the cottage. The gas-powered generators operate with the help of an internal combustion engine, which generates a mechanical force that is needed to create an electrical current to then form electricity. Now on to the rationale for converting to the renewable energy source. Why should this remote cottage move to a renewable energy source, opposed to staying with the current system? Well, first, there is an overall negative impact on the environment that the gas generators are contributing to. The burning of gas in the generators emits greenhouse gases and other substances into the air, which is not benefiting or helping the environment in any sort of way. The current energy system that is in place, being the gas power generators, are expensive in fuel price, as they have seen a huge increase in the price of gas in Ontario over the past 5 years. And the burning of gas emits many different substances into the air, as previously stated, including carbon monoxide and also carbon dioxide, which is a form of greenhouse gas, which contributes to the overall increase of climate change. Changing to a renewable energy source also allows for prominent energy independence, as there is no reliance on the fuel being transported to the remote location of the cottage. The renewable energy source, I'm just getting ahead of myself. Conversions to renewable energy. So, the renewable energy source that I have chosen for the cottage is a solar-powered energy. Solar power is a clean source of energy that does not emit any sort of greenhouse gases back into the atmosphere. When looking at the installation of solar paneling, depending on where they are placed, they can do minimal to no damage to the ecosystem surrounding them, as well as they are a great energy source for remote locations, as there is no need to be connected back to the main grid and allows for the cottage in this case to have energy independence. When looking at how solar power is harvested, we need to understand that there are two methods. And for the purpose of this assignment, we will be looking at both forms as we are looking to use solar energy for heating and electricity. These being solar photovoltaic systems, or PV systems, and solar thermal systems. PV systems are devices that convert solar radiation into electricity. These systems are a favored method in Canada. Solar thermal systems, on the other hand, can be separated into two kinds, passive and active. Both of these forms harness the sunlight to heat fluids that can then be used to heat rooms and water sources. How the energy will be used in the venue is that the solar energy will power the lighting, heating, and all other electricity within the cottage. There will be also an energy stored for the use in the less sunny months of the year to help sustain the power that may be needed during those times. There are both opportunities and challenges for the conversion of solar power. When looking at the opportunities, we can see that solar energy allows for the easy living of off the grid. As the venue is a remote cottage, solar energy does not need to rely on the hydroelectric grid. There are also government incentive programs that help to entice individuals to choose renewable energy options like solar power. Programs like the Canada Greener Homes Grant. These grants can range from $150 to $5,000, which is obviously not enough to install an entire solar energy system, but it's a great starting place for changing over to this renewable energy source. When looking at the challenges, we can look at the financials involved. That is going to be expensive to install this sort of system, but the maintenance in the long term is not as expensive and helps to reduce the person's overall carbon footprint. Another challenge for the conversion would be that there is less sunlight in the winter in northern Ontario, which can be detrimental for solar power production, meaning that there needs to be a backup of power or energy always stored for emergencies. System enhancements. Now we are going to move on to the system enhancements. When thinking of system enhancements, we can look at concepts like energy conservation. With this, we can think of conscious switches that we can make to enhance the renewable energy system. When thinking about our cottage, we can make a switch to more energy efficient appliances and features within the cottage to help in reducing the amount of energy that will be consumed by these products, like switching all of the light bulbs to LED lights. When we look at battery storage and how installing a battery management system can help, it can help to prevent overcharging of batteries, which increases the lifespan of the battery to its fullest potential. Finally, we will look at the impact on both the venue itself and the electricity grid with regards to the system enhancements. With the venue, the cottage will be an energy efficient hub that reduces wasted energy and harnesses solar power to its fullest potential. With the use of the battery management system, there will be a solid source of power that is reliable, even when there are days with lower levels of sunshine. This switch to solar energy will make significant changes to the consumption of energy at the cottage over time. With regards to the impact of the electricity grid, even though the cottage is off-grid, there is potential for other cottages and homes to adopt the same type of system, which can then have an effect on the electricity grid. Being off the grid allows for a reduction in the use of centralized power, which can benefit the larger geographic locations that use a lot of energy if they decide to switch to this sort of energy system. And these are my references.